Pink Man is back. Wait. Whoa. He's not supposed to be here. Alright, he's gone. Alright, he disappeared. Okay, okie dokie. No more Pink Man. Good. Pink Man, so silly. Not supposed to be here. But hello, everybody. Not Kirby. No, Kirby's not here. If Kirby was here, then Kirby is allowed to be here. But Pink Man is not allowed to be here. No. But hello, everyone. Good morning. Excuse me. Caught in 4K what? What was caught in 4K? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what was caught in 4K. But hi everyone, welcome on in. Good morning, a good day, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. No matter what time it may be, I hope that you're having a wonderful week so far. Hi everybody, welcome on into the start of another new week. Yippee! Can you believe it? It is the very last week of August, the last full week of August. And it's perfectly lined up this time. Since, what the heck? Since Sunday is our last day of stream for the week, and it's also the last day of the week for August. I can't believe it. My goodness. Hi, Fish Frogs. Hello, JM. Hi, Nimby. Hello, Day. Welcome in on the YouTube side. And hello to those watching on Twitch as well. Hi. Oh, sorry. I mean the Tube U's. Because apparently we can't say the name now officially on Twitch. But yeah, I'm gonna slip here and there just a little bit, just a smidge, the Tube U's, yes. Oh, is the other ASMR stuff still up too? Let me see. Thank you for letting me know. That should not be seen on the thingamabob. I messed up on that. Oops. Give me 1 second to fix that real quick. Thank you. If you guys ever see ASMR redeems on a day that's not ASMR, it should not be seen. So you didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. Let me fix that real quick. You didn't see anything. What ASMR redeem are you talking about? What do you mean? Alright, it's no longer there. Throw-Banui is also there from the 3D redeem. I'll turn it off for now, just so that there's no confusion. Ah, yes. Now the redeems are color-coded correctly once again. Yeah. What the heck was that? What the heck? Hype train? Thank you so much for the hype train starting. What happening? We're just starting our stream today. Wobble. But yeah, now it's color-coded. I don't know if you guys know, but I took the time to do that too. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna color-code the redeems. And so the way it's supposed to pop up is that it's supposed to be color-coded in like chunks, like colored chunks. And then at the very end, there's like one extra chunk. And that kind of bothers me. I'm just like, the one chunk sticks out. And so I might get rid of like a redeem or something to just like fix the chunks. Yeah, it's supposed to be color-coded properly. And then if it's like other redeems that don't really fit into like chunks, then they stick out like a sore thumb. Because they're not color-coded properly. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little tidbit, little something that I do for the channel. I like to keep it like aesthetic. I had like when I first began streaming, I don't know why. I think it's just like back during my Tumblr days. I like having things like a certain aesthetic, and so I like things like themed. And so way back in the day when I first began streaming, I used to have all my panels were Harvest Moon themed, and so they were all like Harvest Moon characters. And then a lot of people picked up on it, which I was really surprised about back then, because once again, Harvest Moon was just a series. I didn't really know if people knew about it because growing up, I didn't have anyone to talk about it, you know? I only had my cousins across the country, or even across the country, across the world, that knew about it. And so it was really cool. It was really cool. I was like, oh, my plan is working. I am drawing in the people, my people. But yeah, I don't know. I still can't believe it that there are so many of y'all that really like farming sims and Harvest Moon. I'm just like, it warms my heart. I'm really happy about that. I'm really, really happy. Yeah. Hi, Cian. Not that I knew who they were. I know. I think most people saw it and they were just like, oh, what anime is that from? And I'm like, dang, I wish it was an anime. You know, I'm really surprised that Harvest Moon never got an anime. Not even like a special like OVA. Because this is I don't know. In my opinion, it's the most popular farming sim out there. And so I was just like, huh. I'm surprised they haven't made one of like just like a adaptation or something, you know? You can also add 2 more blocks to make it even instead. Oh, but then I have to add 2 more redeems. And I cannot do that. Because I have other redeems that that are turned off, you know? And so, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Farming, like, I don't know if you guys know, but Harvest Moon's been around since like N64. And that's a long time. Let's see. The first Harvest Moon game. The first Harvest Moon game came out in 1996. And it came by in America in 1997. And so it's been around for a very long time. It's been around for a very long time, chat. And so, yeah, I'm just surprised that they never came out with like an adaptation. It's been around as long as Pokemon. Just think about that. It's been around as long as Pokemon has been around. And so I'm just like, I'm surprised there's been no Harvest Moon. You know, because even it's in Japanese too, right? Like the original Harvest Moon, it got adapted. And the series in Japanese, it even has a Japanese name. And so I'm just like, huh, I'm really surprised, you know? Because in Japanese, if you guys don't know, Harvest Moon is called Bokujo Monogatari. And so, I don't know. I just really thought, like, with it being a game from Japan, with it being a game that's popular here in the West, you know, I thought it'd be like Kirby, or I thought it'd be like Pokemon, or I thought it would be like Animal Crossing, right? I thought there would be some sort of anime adaptation. Like, you know, Animal Crossing had the Animal Crossing movie. And then Pokemon had the Pokemon series. And then you had other shows like Kirby, you know, that came out as well. Albeit, you know, Harvest Moon was not as popular as those series. But still, I'm surprised it didn't even come out with like a special or something, you know? It's the OG farming sim, you know? The inspiration to Stardew Valley, the inspiration to, you know, a lot of games like Fields of Mystria and other whatnot, right? Like when people talk about it, every time I talk about it on stream, they're always like, "Oh my god, it looks like Stardew!" And I you know, like the farming fans that come in, I'm just like, "Oh my goodness, let Grandma Vera tell you about what it is actually inspired from." You know, all these popular westernized farming sims that you guys know and love, like Stardew Valley, actually came from inspirations like Harvest Moon back in my day. I really do feel old though. I feel so old whenever I talk about like that, like how Harvest Moon was like actually the first farming sim that inspired the farming sims that you all know and love nowadays, right? Because Stardew Valley was like the farming sim that like really drew the attention of like the westernized or the Western world, right? Because like I said, I didn't really know about people talk about like farming sims or were into farming sims until Stardew kind of like took over, kind of like how the Sims took over. And so it wasn't until Stardew that everyone started getting into like the farming sim, and I was like, oh ha ha, yes, welcome to the dark side, ha ha, where you think it's relaxing? You think farming sims are relaxing? No, you have to micromanage your time. You're like fighting against time all day, every day. Once you get to like the second year, you have like a million chores you have to do in game. You have animals to take care of. You have plants to take care of, and then if you are able to do automation, then you're golden. Then you're like set for like the millionaire farmer path, you know? But I love it though. I love farming sims. Like I like it. I like all like the micromanaging things that you gotta do, and then automation is really fun too. Like oh my god, don't even get me started. Stardew Valley like sucked me into the whole like automation process, especially like back in the day when they only had mods for automation, like the auto petter, the auto feeder, and all that jazz. I was like into it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna automate my farming and be the millionaire farmer that I can be. Ha ha ha. But yeah, that's alright. I kind of went on a little yap, a little tangent about my love for farming sims. You never played Stardew? I'm not surprised. I feel like Stardew, like by itself, like vanilla Stardew, isn't everyone's cup of tea. Even for me, like I was used to more of like the anime art sprites for farming sims I played, once again, from like Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons. And so for me, I super got into Stardew after they came out with like the anime portrait mods. After they came out with the anime portrait mods, I modded the heck out of it. I made it my aesthetic for the furniture. I made the world like darker because it was a little too like orange for me in vanilla Stardew. And then I made it, you know, a weeb. I wanted to date some hot anime men, okay? I wanted to date some hot anime men. I wanted to see some really cute anime girls, okay? I know what I like, all right? Okay, and I did exactly that, and I love the portrait mods. They even have like a portrait manager where you can swap between different portraits if you want to swap between them. Okay, all right. Hi, Wapo, welcome on in. You can't be saying that either, Wapo. You can't be saying that either, okay? All right, don't make me call you out. Don't make me call you out. Hi, Maxie, welcome on in. Hello, hello. Hi, Twirly! Welcome in, Twirly. Can we get a shout out for Twirly, please? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Rage C. Hi, West. Hello, Luzo. Hi, Kelly. Not Farmville. Oh my god. I remember when people started playing Farmville in like school, when I was in school on Facebook and stuff. And surprisingly, I did play Farmville like a little bit, but I wasn't into Farmville. I was just like, why play this when I can just play my Harvest Moon games? It was just like, yeah. Because the big driving factor for me when it came to Harvest Moon was the romance. I've talked about it before, but the main driving factor for me was the romance. I really wanted to date, you know, these like cute anime boys in the game. And so I was just like, okay, I'm sold. I get to be a cute, you know, farmer and have some cute animals, cute plants, and I get to date like a visual novel. But in farming? Oh heck yeah. It was my dream game series. Rune Factory 4, you know, and Rune Factory in general, they have anime scenes. And so even though you don't have like a Rune Factory anime, you still have snippets of like cutscenes. You have the opening scene where it's all anime, right? Whereas with Harvest Moon, or now A Story of Seasons, it's not really the same, you know. They don't really have like the anime cutscenes and whatnot, unfortunately. But Rune Factory, they did give us like a little teaser as to what it would be like. Oh yeah, see, look, okay. You literally said, yeah, you weeb, and then you follow up with, no, I want the real anime. Show me more. I don't know if you can really say that after you're the one that said, I want the real anime. Even if you're calling Whipple out, I don't know, man. You're kind of calling yourself out too. You're kind of self-reporting, man. You know. We can be all weebs together, okay, chat? All right. There's no shame. Come on, it's 2025. At this point in our timeline, anime is mainstream. Okay, all right. You don't have to worry about being called a weeb anymore, because back in the day, weeb and otaku, people didn't want to be called that, you know, because there was like a negative connotation. And this was like back in like the early 2000s where, you know, there's like a shame with watching anime. You know, you wouldn't go around explicitly telling people like, oh yeah, I like anime, yeah, I watch anime, you know. But now, after, you know, COVID, it's become very mainstream, very popular. And so it's cool if you talk about anime. you know? And so, yeah, weeb is something where people kind of talk about it in a more like, just like a description sense. Like, oh, like you're into anime. But back in the day, you know, things like weeb and otaku or something that you did not want to be called by. Mm-hmm. Back in my day, you were ostracized for anime. Exactly, Omni. Hi, Omni. Welcome on in. Hi, Maxie. Not that. Okay, I don't say that. I don't say I watched anime before it was cool. I do say though I watched anime before it was mainstream, which does make me sound like a hipster, but I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, like I still can't believe it. Like there's still parts of me that still can't believe that anime is so mainstream. You know, like I remember when I was on TikTok and then I saw people start talking about or making like thirst traps over Gojo and making thirst traps over like Nanami and all the boys from JJK, but on like mainstream TikTok. I was just like, what is this timeline? I was just like, oh. And then from there, not even like JJK, I feel like it became mainstream after like My Hero Academia, like Boku no Hero. It just really, really became popular around that time because I tutored some kids and I taught some kids that would talk about it. Like, yeah, I watch anime. Yeah, I watch My Hero Academia. And I'm just like, what? Yeah. My Melanie, hello. They're welcome on in, by the way. I think so too. Yeah, I feel like My Hero Academia was definitely one of like the breakthrough anime series that kind of, you know, really connected the west side of the world with anime in a more mainstream sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. You watch anime? I think you watch anime too, Twirly. I don't know. I think you watch it too. That type way getting bullied because not as many people knew. Yeah, right? It's like, you know, I feel like no one should get bullied for what they like. But unfortunately, yeah, there are people that would get bullied or get isolated for liking anime or other stuff. Yeah. Or made fun of or ostracized, you know. Donald Wall! Wait, what'd you say, Derpy? What'd you say? I didn't see you say anything. Huh? Yeah, I don't see any messages from you, Derpy, on up above. Hey? You DM'd me! Okay, well, I didn't check my DMs yet. I'm sorry. Let me look right now. Oh my god, Derpy. But alright, there you go, Derby. There you go. Okay, alright. Bless. Sorry. Yeah, if you DM me like before stream, most likely I don't see the DM unless it's like it's like a pinged, you know, like, oh yeah, check your DMs, and then I'm like, okay, I'm checking. What do you mean? What do you mean she don't know walls? I did not don't know wall. Okay, I did not. Okay, all right. This is just DMs. I don't really, you know, respond to DMs in like the first half of the day. Usually I respond to DMs in like the latter half, and then if I don't respond, it's because I was just too busy and I ended up, you know, forgetting to respond. Okay? All right. I'm pretty bad at responding to DMs. I'm sorry. Hi, Savvy. Welcome on in. I think another one, they thought it was socially a little more... Really? You think Death Note was a little socially more acceptable? I feel like Death Note is something that didn't really pop up until it... what's it called? Like it came out with the live action, and then people were talking smack about the live action. Which makes sense, because I feel like they did a poor job at the live adaptation in terms of like capturing the essence of the original anime. But yeah, I feel like... I don't know. Death Note is like one of the series where Like if, for example, you know, like back in the day, people would talk about it, you know, like the question, one of the hardest questions to answer as like an anime fan to a non-anime fan is when a non-anime fan is like, oh, what anime should I start off with, right? Because there's a lot of series that you don't start people off with in terms of watching anime or like introducing anime for the first time to them. And so, like, for example, one of the first anime that I saw was it was School Rumble. And I really like School Rumble, you know, because I thought it was goofy. But I wouldn't recommend School Rumble to like a first-time anime watcher, just because I feel like there are some scenes that are a bit more on like the ecchi side. And so ecchi is not really something that people are going to be like super into right now. And so I was just like, I recommend stuff more like Tamako Market or like Danshi no Kokose, like, you know, or some other stuff too. Are you winning? Hello there. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for the raid on the YouTube side. Hi. I haven't begun my hunt for my shiny Piplup just yet. But I hope I can say that I am winning here in an hour or so. But hi, welcome on in, raiders on the YouTube side. For anyone that's new here, my name is Elvira. Hello there. Welcome here. Here's a little something that I do whenever we get a raid. But thank you so much for raiding on the YouTube side. Hi. I'm so sorry. I don't have alerts on because I do mainly stream on Twitch. And so for Twitch TOS, I cannot have alerts and stuff seen on my screen from YouTube, unfortunately. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Here's a little curtsy for y'all. I'll put you. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay here at our tea party. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Hi, Akira. We were doing a VTuber coloring pages and just colored our shiny Piplup. Wait, that's meant to be. I feel like that's meant to be because the Pokemon, if you guys don't know already, that I've been hunting for since 2021 is actually also a shiny Piplup, specifically through the starter method. And so, yeah, I'm currently at 6,750 resets for a shiny Piplup. And so, fingers crossed. I hope that I'm able to get a shiny Piplup thanks to y'all popping on in. But thank you so much, Akira, for the raid. I really appreciate that. And it's a pleasure to meet you all as well from Akira's community. Welcome. Hi, Rika. Hello, Conan. Hello, Yin. Welcome on in. Chi-Chi as well. Cute model. We'll steal the cookies. Oh, please, be my guest. You don't have to steal them. You can just take my cookies. Here. There you go. Jajan. Take the cookies. They're free. They're complimentary here. Akira, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I really appreciate that too. Thank you. But yeah, I dual stream both on Twitch and on YouTube. So whichever platform you guys want to watch me on, please be my guest. But yeah, I'm active on both. It's just that I don't get alerts, unfortunately, for YouTube since it's not allowed on Twitch TOS side. But yes, I do have tea. He's our bartender VTuber. He's from the Cinnamon Sweets Cafe. It was truly meant to be. Wait, that's so cute. Wait, I love that. I'll definitely have to drop by and check out your cafe as well, Akira. But yeah, if you need to head off to wind down after stream or anything like that, please feel free to do so. But thank you so much for the raid. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, yes, no worries. Yeah, you guys are welcome, like I said, to watch on Twitch or on YouTube. I'm active on both. I dual stream every day on both. Hello, Noel. Welcome on in as well. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. And thank you for the follow as well, Rika. Thank you. You're Chi-Chi. Okay, let me write that down. I can write that down on my Twitch nicknames so I remember. Hi, Pedro. Welcome on in for the first time as well. Hi, Jackson. Good luck. Thank you. I need all the luck I can get. We had tea today for tea time. Ooh, what's your favorite tea? Do you guys have a favorite tea? I actually have some tea with me right now as well. I have some green tea. Yesterday, I had some jasmine tea. I love jasmine tea. Jasmine tea is actually one of my favorites of all time. Okay, let me get a nickname done. And then let me do this real quick. But thank you so much again for the raid. I really do appreciate that, Akira. Thank you. I'm a little shy on the YouTube side just because for those that don't know, I've been streaming on YouTube for like a year. But you know what I realized? I realized that I didn't have raids allowed for the longest time. And so I didn't know that you had to allow raids from other people outside of like your friends for so long, like literally until like I think last month or something. And so it wasn't until last month where I allowed 4 raids from everyone. And so it's been so nice. It's been so nice to meet new people from YouTube. Yeah, you have to allow it manually. Yeah. Because by default, it's set to allow raids from people you follow or you subscribe to. And so if you don't change that, you can't get raids from other people until after you manually change it. And so, yeah, I didn't know about that. But then ever since I did it, I've met, some lovely people and it's really cool. But yeah, thank you, Akira. I'll definitely stop by when I can. Thank you, thank you. Conan! Wait, that's really sweet.
And your desk.
Thank you so much for the $4.20 for my desk. I really, really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. $4.22. Nice. See, Akira. Oh no, it's fine. When it comes to YouTube, some people are monetized and some people are not monetized. And that's up to them. Whatever. If a YouTuber does not want to be monetized, then I think that's fine too, But I get it though, like as members of the community, right? You want to support your streamer, and so that's very kind of you. It's very kind of you to, want your streamer to be monetized. Gonna leave today for now because I'm kind of late and I had a long day today, but I'll be sure to catch you tomorrow. Of course, Yin! Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely rest of your night and I'll see you next time. Bye, Yin! Bye, Panda! Good luck at work as well. Thank you for stopping by today. Mata ne! Bye-bye if you guys are heading out right now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But yeah, we're just starting off our day today. We're gonna be playing, once again, some Piplup. We're gonna be hunting for shiny Piplup. I'll actually stop over right now as we're chit-chatting. But yeah, for the most part, I just talk a lot during the day where I just, I look for a Piplup and I pray for the best. And then on the Twitch side, you guys can also take part in some channel point gambling. And so you can do that as well if you'd like. Bye, Yin! Bye-bye. Okay, Gigi, yeah. Let me hop on over so y'all can see the chaos that is our shiny hunting right now. It's very chaotic. Very, very chaotic. Wait! Netflix just announced K-pop Demon Hunters' most popular Netflix film of all time. That must mean... Heck yeah! It better be! Can you imagine K-pop Demon Hunters being the most popular Netflix anime of all time and that it doesn't get a sequel? Oh my goodness. Also, I need to take out my shiny Piplup drawing that was done by a lovely member of the community. I think it's so cute. It's so precious. I love it so much. Also, I forgot to tell you guys. I did go see K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters. Yippee! I saw it on Sunday actually, and it was a really good watch. It was fun. It was really fun. I liked it. I will say, for our theater that we went to, it was a little more on the shy side. And so, yeah, our theater wasn't really that sing-along-y, if that makes sense. But it was still really fun. It was still really fun, even if people weren't really that into singing. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters was in theaters in the States for one weekend, which was this past weekend. And so it was airing only on last Saturday and last Sunday. And so I saw it on Sunday, and they had both the sing-along theaters as well as the regular like 2D theaters. And so I went to one of the sing-along showings, and what it means is essentially, I don't know if there's a big difference, but during the songs, if you choose the sing-along session, there are subtitles for the song lyrics. And so, yeah. I did sing. I sang to it, but our theater wasn't really that packed for our time, and so yeah, it was a lot of like younger children, like really young, not like elementary school kids. They were like toddlers, and so they kind of like sang along, but they weren't really, you know, like belting their heart out. And so yeah, it wasn't that big of a group, but it was still really fun. I still sang along, you know, for myself. But yeah, it wasn't that loud of a sing along. Like there were some other theaters that people went to on Saturday. Oh my god, I saw on Twitter there were some theaters where there were a lot of like girls screaming at the scene where, you know, they introduce the Saja boys and they show Abby's abs. And then there's other theaters that I saw where people were singing along like a concert, right? And so yeah, each theater experience I've heard in regards to my friends that went to the showings differed, and I think it was all really fun. Oh, Dino laughed at Glima. Apollo!
44 months, woohoo, alve wiggle.
Apollo, thank you so much for that resub at 44 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stays at T-Bun. Thank you so much, Apollo. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please? For 44 months of resubs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I made my sister watch and now she's obsessed. Oh, heck yeah. That's why I convinced my, for example, I convinced my best friend in New York to watch it with me when she came to visit me before I moved. And yeah, she got real sucked in. She was super into the Saja boys. Like for her, it was Saja boys all the way. She especially was into Genu. You know, but who isn't, right? Who isn't into Genu? But yeah, she was super into Genu. But yeah, okay, we got our lovely Piplup drawing done by Chizuru on my forehead. And now we're gonna hop into the resetting. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me do that real quick. Let me hop over to our usual scene. Okay, alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and put myself in the corner. Alright, and then we're gonna take out my controller. So say goodbye to the cookies for now. But I have my controller. Okay, and then I'm going to set up the game real quick here. Yeah, Conan. Yeah, I've been streaming for over 5 years now. It's crazy to think about it because not a lot of people that are finding me on YouTube nowadays know that, because on YouTube, I've only been on YouTube streaming wise for a year. And so, yeah, I've been on Twitch for 5-6 years-ish. And so, yeah. Hopefully, though, I mentioned before, hopefully we can also, you know, build our community on YouTube as well and make more friends on YouTube, too. Yes, I'm old, Vera. That's why sometimes Granny Vera comes out, you know, and then I talk about back in my day, how I used to stream on Twitch before COVID happened. Can you imagine that? Streaming pre-COVID on Twitch. Oh my goodness. Back in my day, Twitch also was not as popular until COVID happened and then everyone started streaming. I'm just kidding. Actually, I streamed before COVID, but then I really started streaming during COVID because, fun fact, I used to teach and then, you know, COVID happened. And so I didn't have my job anymore. And so I was like, okay, I might as well just stream for fun, you know, and then bada bing, bada boom. Things happened and now I stream full time. Yippee! Who'd have thought, though? I definitely did not think that when I was first starting my streams. Fun fact, my first few streams that I did were actually Pokemon themed because I used to do, I was a Gigantamax streamer because I had friends that wanted to do Gigantamax and like Dynamax raids. Oh, not Dynamax, Gigantamax raids. And so, yeah, I just had a bunch of like Gigantamax raids that I did on Twitch. Unk status. Okay, whoa. I'll take Grandma Vera, but not Unk status. That's a new thing. That's like a new slang that I hear people use nowadays. Like, they call them like Unk. It's supposed to be short for uncle, right? Also, yes, if you're watching on YouTube, there is a bit of a delay compared to Twitch. Only because I have captions turned on, like CC turned on YouTube, and you can't do live CC, so there has to be like the ever so slightest delay on YouTube if I want captions to work, and so I do want the option. On Twitch, there is like a CC that is live, but yeah, there's no live CC on YouTube yet, unfortunately. Not yet, but hopefully in the future or something like that. Yes. Sometimes you do be sounding like one. I think sometimes we all be sounding like one. If I'm being honest, okay, we all be sounding like an unk at some point. Why isn't it capturing properly? 37th birthday! Whoa! What the heck? Actually, I am 1,180 million years old. How dare you think I am that age? But you guys will never know. You will never know my age because I've never talked about it. I've never directly said how old I am. Counter is at 6,000. Everyone's 37? Says who? Who's everyone? That's kind of wild to think about it, you know? Because when you say everyone, you're including children. You're including old people, you know? Let me set that real quick. Okay, 6,000. Hello, Hoppergrasser. I haven't been here since Animal Crossing New Horizons Day. It's a pleasure to have you here again. Welcome on in. I probably look a little different from when you first saw me during my Animal Crossing days. I am no longer 2D. I am, you know, well, I'm still 2D, but I'm no longer a PNG. But hello, Hopper. It's a pleasure to see you again. Welcome on in. Hi. Thank you for popping on in after all this time. You know, I was just thinking about that too as you were talking about, you know, like my beginning of my Animal Crossing days and stuff like that. I was thinking about it. I wonder if people, because I know there's some people that are still here from my Animal Crossing days, but there's some people that I do wonder, you know, if they still like pop in that used to watch me during my Animal Crossing days. And so it's a pleasure to have you here, Hopper. Let me do this real quick. But yeah. I believe I used to call you Belle, is that correct? I don't know if that's still correct. If you go by like a different name, let me know. But yeah, I believe I used to call you Belle back in the day. Also, this capture... why is it being so weird with the capture? Let me see. Okay, here we go. Yes, I love to pop in and say hi. I've been missing the Animal Crossing New Horizon days so much, especially when fall comes. Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah, it's always around this time of the year where I just want to like boot up my old island again and, you know, kind of like start anew. But I still have the exact same island. I don't know if I ever told y'all, but I still have the exact same island. I never reset because I'm just too attached. I'm very attached to my villagers, and so that's like one of the number one things I don't do is I don't reset my island because I love my villagers too much. I get too attached to them. Like I was it's kind of embarrassing to talk about, but I mentioned it before when I was streaming that with Brovira actually, like when because we used to play games together, like he would have like the corresponding Pokemon game to me, and so I played what's it called, I played like the original, you know, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl back in the day when it first came out. And then Brovira, my brother, he played Pokemon Diamond, and so there was a point where he ended up wanting to reset because he himself, he had Torterra as his like original starter, but then he started watching the series, you know, with Ash, and he saw that Ash had an Infernape that he got from, you know, Chimchar, which came from Paul. And so he was super into Infernape, and then he was like, I'm gonna reset, I'm gonna restart so I can have myself an Infernape. And I was so sad. I don't know why, but I was just so emotionally like distraught when I was like at the age that I was at, because I was a child, you know, as well. But I was just like, you can't do that. You can't do that to your Pokemon. I was like, you've already gone to leave 4 and you're just gonna leave them like that? And then he was like, yeah. And I was trying my best to like convince him not to, you know, reset and, you know, send his Pokemon into the void. But yeah, I was being dramatic. I was so attached to his Pokemon, even though they were his Pokemon. So yeah, I'm still one of those, you know, people that become really attached. So it's really hard for me. It's really hard for me to like reset an island, to restart a game if I have characters I'm attached to. I'm just like, oh. All right, the memes are there. Yeah, like I remember I was hysterical. God, it's like one of my most embarrassing moments I think about. I'm like, God, Elvira, why were you so cringe back then? Why were you so dramatic about Rovira's Pokemon? Yeah, I was like, you're making a mistake. Think about your Torterra. Think about the bond you've had with your Torterra. Think about your Staraptor. Think about your blah 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 blah. And then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna reset. He looked at me like crying and he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna reset my Pokemon. I really want Infernape. And I was just like, fine, be that way. And I left and then he reset and then I was just like, so how's it going? I was just like, so how's the Pokemon grind going? He's like, yeah, it's going. It's pretty cool. I have my Infernape now. And I'm like, cool. I was so dramatic. My God. Small Beer was a dramatic little gremlin. My God. Yeah, I was just like, how's it going? Did you get to Cynthia again or no? You know, back then too, we didn't know how to trade Pokemon. But if we had been able to trade Pokemon, I probably would have been like, just give them to me! Just give them to me! Just give me your old Pokemon so they can be somewhere. Oh, actually. So there was one game. Pokemon game, where I did actually reset. I did reset, what was it? I reset my, I think it was my Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I want to say. And the only reason why I did that was because, actually no, I don't remember why, but yeah, I did reset my my Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And I at the time, I think Pokemon Home had just come out, and so I did transfer all my Pokemon. I transferred all my Pokemon because I already defeated the game. I already beat the game and everything like that, you know. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down to restart. And so I restarted, but then, you know, I was just like, okay, if I ever want to go back to my old Pokemon, they're still alive. Okay, they're still there in Pokemon Home, okay? So technically, even though I reset, they're still there with me, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, okay, that's my coping mechanism. That's how I cope. My Pokemon are still there, even though I'm resetting. And so I was okay. Yeah, I retired them, essentially. Yes, I retired them, you know, from an alternative timeline. And so, yeah, they were just chilling. They were just chilling in the void. And Pokemon Home. Ah, but if you want to put the memes, put them in the meme section of my Discord. You can put them there, and then you should be able to just see the meme channel. Yeah, they were sent to the retirement home, the Pokemon Home. Oh my God, is that what it is? It's Pokemon Home, the retirement home for Pokemon? Oh my God, I just realized, because yeah, I put a lot of my old Pokemon into Pokemon Home because I wanted to like restart. Oh my God. Hi Lynn, welcome on in by the way. Hi Zathiel. How do you feel with Pokemon Go grinding Pokemon into candies for your other Pokemon? Oh, I've never done that. I've never done that before. I remember seeing that happen in Pokemon Go, but I never did that. I didn't do that. And hence why I never really got that far in Pokemon Go. But yeah, I saw people do that to their Pokemon and I was just like, so yeah, I never really got that far in Pokemon Go. Also, let me go ahead and start up the prediction. So as usual, if you want to predict on whether I get a shiny Piplup or a shiny Starly within a set number of predictions, please feel free to go ahead and you can join in as of right now if you're on the Twitch side, okay? So the first reset number for today is 6,725. No, 75. And so if you believe I will get it by 6,775, feel free to vote, okay? If not, you can also vote to doubt. That'll be up until I get to that number, okay? But the voting is up right now for those on the Twitch side. All right, and then I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna start the resetting. Do Pokemon even grow older? They do! They do grow older! They do! I don't know if you've seen it before, Benter, but if you watch the anime, they definitely grow old. Yes. Hi, Bar! Did you get your Scarvio mystery gift shiny legendaries yet? I haven't played Scarlet and Violet in a very long time. And the whole reason why is because I told myself that once I finally get this shiny Piplup starter, then I will go ahead and... then I'll go ahead and, you know, continue my other Pokemon games. Because I wanted to finish these games before I ended up starting Pokemon Legends ZA whenever it comes out. And so, yeah, I've been trying to grind. I've been trying to grind here. I've been trying to grind so that I can be ready for Pokemon Legends ZA. But as of right now, I'm just, yeah, I'm struggling. Hi, Nix. Welcome on in. Hello there. Hi. Bye, Conan. I'll see you next time, by the way. We're still here. But thank you for stopping in. Thank you. Is it mystery? Like any random shiny Pokemon? Oh, for the prediction? For the prediction, it'll count if I end up seeing like a shiny Piplup or a shiny Starly, because there is a chance for a Starly to pop up as a shiny. Yeah. Oh, not you guys going broke on it. What the heck? Oh, it's limited time? I'm okay. I'm alright with that. You know, I've lived. Back in my day, you know, I wasn't able to just go to GameStop all the time to be able to get the shiny / legendary Pokemon that they had. And so I've skipped out on some, you know. That's alright. Oh, for Scarlet and Violet. Wait. So it's a legendary shiny? Like a shiny legendary for Scarlet and Violet? What Pokemon is it? One of us is gonna win big? Oh, God. The four... Oh! Wait, you mean like Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Gas, and Reggie Rock? Those four? I was very lucky to live near a couple GameStop locations, and in college our bus route got me close enough. Yeah, if I ever wanted to go to GameStop, I'd have to ask my dad. I'd be like, Dad, can you take us to GameStop? And Dad Beer wasn't very free, and so yeah, we didn't really get to go and grab it. And GameStop wasn't really super close to us. The snail and the... Oh, you mean those four. I see. I don't even know about the legendaries for Scarlet and Violet, because I never finished Scarlet and Violet. And so for me, I don't really know about them too much to want to get them, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I'm not really familiar with those legendaries, unfortunately. Do you think it's worth for me to... Why am I floating? You guys think it's worth for me to go and get the legendaries or no? My Piplup, why are you looking like that? Okay, there we go. I think that's better. Yes. The Treasures of Ruin. Managing to get 2 of them. I just hop on, collect them if it's not hard to redeem. Both are free of charge. Just log in and go to the mystery gift thingy. Just need to log in, do mystery gift, and save the game. Okay. Alright. Maybe I'll do that then. Maybe I'll do that. The question is, if I took my Scarlet and Violet with me, I don't remember. I don't remember if I took it with me. Because I think, as I'm going back in December, right, to grab my stuff and to visit family. And so I might have left it for my December haul of my stuff. Yeah. I have to find my game too, right? I'm just like, yeah, I don't remember if I put it with my other games. But yeah, I'll see. But thank you for letting me know. Maybe I'll log in if I have it with me right now. The other two will follow sooner after they get unlocked as people clear the legendary raids. Ah. Yeah, for me, I just have to remember if I took it with me. Because I always put my cartridges back in the physical box. Because I have the physical box. And so, if I can find the box, it's okay. And right now, all my stuff is together. And so, it should be there. You're gonna deep clean and reorganize your room. Good luck, Yellow Ring. Good luck. Okay. Alright. We are into the resetting process. That's cool, though. I didn't know they were still doing stuff for Scarlet and Violet. I'm not gonna lie. I feel so, like, out of touch with Pokemon events and stuff. Like, back in the day, I used to be on top of it, you know? Like, when they had the GameStop events, I was like on top of it, especially around Sword and Shield time. But yeah, I think ever since, I want to say Scarlet and Violet, I just haven't really been as up to date with Pokemon as I used to be. It's kind of sad, but yeah. But yeah, I remember with Sword and Shield, I was super into the Gigantamax raids. It was just like there was a whole Discord of people raiding together, and there were people, if they had like a shiny Gigantamax, they would let people essentially join the rooms for like an entire day. And so I was like camping that channel specifically. I was camping that channel specifically for a shiny Hatterene. I really wanted a Gigantamax shiny Hatterene because it was fun, you know. It's kind of like with Mega Evolutions. If you can Gigantamax them, you can Gigantamax them in battle too. And so, yeah, I used to camp that channel all day, every day when I had the time. Oh, yeah, free hoodie. Waiting to go all in with the black and white remakes. That most likely is going to come out next year, I want to say, Twirly. Because following the pattern, it's going to come out next year with the way that they've released it. Because we had what? We had Scarlet and Violet. And then we had Legends ZA. And then next up in the line is a remake. And so I'm pretty sure the black and white remakes are gonna come out next year. I really hope that they re-implement the White Forest and the Black City concept again. I thought that was so cool how Black Forest and White City were things that grew over time, right? Based off how many people would come visit you. And so I really hope they bring that back. I thought that was so cool. I thought that was really, really cool. Seeing, you know, a forest or a city grow, depending on what version you had. Yeah, I loved Hatterene. Hatterene was such a cute looking Pokemon in its first evolution, and then I thought it was so pretty. It was so pretty in its like second evolution. I was super into it. Will it be proper remakes or BDSP? I still think BDSP is a proper remake. Like, I know, like, trust me, okay, when I say this, because I'm a huge fan of Gen 4. Gen 4 is like my all-time favorite generation. And so I will say I was a little disappointed at first when I found out that GameStop was not the one working on the remake. But, you know, from what I've seen, I think they've done like a really nice job at capturing the essence of like the original Gen 4. Just because, you know, like these chibis right here, this is how they looked like back in the 2D version, like the pixel version, right? And then, like later on from other battles I've seen, from music that I've heard, it looks pretty good. Like it looks like a pretty good remake. I know I haven't played it, okay? I haven't played it myself, but I saw not Game Freak, okay? You know what I meant. Shut up. You know what I mean, okay? Game Freak. Even though it wasn't Game Freak that did the remake. I know that at first I was a little hesitant about it too, right? But I was just like, you know, I have come around to like it, even if it's not like the remake that I was expecting, you know? For example, like with yeah, just like with other remakes, I've come around to it. And so even if it's not Game Freak that ends up remaking Black and White, I think if it's this company, you know, that made that remade, you know, Diamond and Pearl, I think it would still be really nice. I think it'd be fun. Where is my chat on screen? Oh my god, thank you, Twirly. I didn't even realize I accidentally clicked on that. Clicked on that when I guess, toggled on my slideshow. Oops. All right, there we go. The chat should be back up. Thank you, Twirly. I didn't even notice that. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Bard. Welcome on in. By the way, I don't know if I said hi to you yet today. I just started talking to you in a conversation. Oh, the dream world with Muna and whatnot. That was cool too. That was really cool as well. Not the shut up. I'm sorry, bye. I didn't mean to say shut up. I was just like, I'm not ready for the actually. I was like, you know exactly what I mean. You know what I mean, okay? Thank you for the water, Sansai. I will say today, my patience is a little limited than usual. All right. I like the BDSP remakes, looking back on them. Exactly, right, Sansai? It's like, I don't know. Like, when I first saw it, I was really disappointed. At first, I was really disappointed because I was really excited. I thought it was going to look like the remakes, like for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you know? That was my idea of what it was going to be like a more like full body look to it. And then, you know, we had just had Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I thought it was going to be like that level of quality for the remake. But, you know, once again, like ever since they started the Legends series, right? They can't work on multiple series at the same time. And so, of course, it makes sense that they're going to separate, you know, who works on what. And so I really loved how Arceus came out, right? As like the first of its new series. And so I was just like, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay with the way that they did, you know, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. At first I wasn't, but after these years, I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm really happy with it. And so I don't mind. I don't mind if Black and White is remade by the same people that have worked on, you know, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I know what you mean, Turley. You know, I think about that too, right? Like, I wonder how they're going to do a lot of like the DS stuff that they did back in the day. Yeah, because, yeah, the split screen thingy. If they ever remake X and Y, you know, there's the... thank you for the water. There's like a lot of stuff that... Grandman! Hi, Grandman. Welcome on in. But yeah, there's a lot of DS, like, split screen integrated programs that they had for the Pokemon games. And so I wonder how they're going to transfer that over. I'm really curious. I'm really curious on how they're going to do that. Thank you for the water, Redeem. Thank you. Cian! Wait, Derpy!
Only gifted a tier 1 sub to Donju.
Derpy, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Cian. Cian, I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stays at T-Bun again, ma'am. Thank you, Derpy. Thank you so much. That was very sweet of you. But yes, can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for Derpy's kindly gifted sub to Cian? Thank you, thank you. I'll acknowledge Underground was nice, but I'm not fond of how they didn't implement the platinum. I can see why you would say that. But I can also see why they did not do that. You know what I mean? It's like... Because it's... With platinum... Yeah, like with platinum... Oh! A Cranman! Wait, Cranman! Thank you so much for the... Wait. Let me see. The contribution to my desk? Let me check. Give me 1 second. Ding. Let me see. Yes, thank you so much for the contribution to my desk. I really appreciate that. And Cranman, with your contribution, we are now over 50% of the desk being funded. Thank you, Cranman. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for the contribution to my desk from Cranman? Thank you for helping us get over 50% of the desk funded. That your contribution pushed it past the 50% mark. Thank you. And a big, big thank you once again to everyone that has already contributed to my desk. I really appreciate that. Thank you for helping me towards my first new desk in my apartment, in the new apartment. Yeah! Her mic keeps falling over. Hey! You don't gotta mention that, truly, okay? Alright, it's fine. My box tower works. The only time that it falls over is if I'm like too excited and I move the boxes too quickly. Alright? I will say though, you know what happened? There was a night where my mic did fall over on my keyboard and it made like a little dent in my keyboard. Like not dent, I guess, but like a little scuff. And so now there's like some scuff marks at the top of my keyboard because my mic fell onto it. And so I'm just like, no, my keyboard. But it's very noticeable. You can't even really see it. Yeah, there is like a little bit of a scuff on top because my mic fell over. Okay, but yeah, like so as I was saying about Platinum, right? I feel like it makes sense. Like even though the stuff that they added into Platinum was nice, it was really nice though that they, I feel like, didn't keep that for the remake essentially because the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were so different from Platinum in terms of like the story, in my opinion. And so I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense that they did not implement stuff from Platinum into the remake of Platinum or in terms of like a remake for Diamond and Pearl, because Diamond and Pearl are separate from Platinum. You know what I mean? Same thing too with, you know, if they were to do like Sun and Moon versus like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or if they were to do like Black and White versus like Black and White 2, because it's just different. They're like two different stories for the most part. And so I feel like it makes sense that they had to pick and choose what to focus on more for the remake. And also Platinum, not everyone played Platinum. Yeah, Platinum was like the third game in this franchise. So, you know, like for example, Ruby and Sapphire, right, had Emerald. And then, yeah, Pearl and Diamond had Platinum. So it's usually like the third game in the franchise that comes out afterwards. That either has like a little bit more content or a little bit more story / Pokemon. Yeah, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They didn't really include a lot from Emerald for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Exactly, right? I usually think that when they do remakes, they don't really add stuff from the third game. Yeah. Thank you, Turley. Her 3D photo shoot was just her sitting. I stood up, okay? I stood up. All right. I don't know why Turley is making it sound like I was sitting on the ground the entire time that we did the photo shoot for 3D Elvira. But yes, okay, I am sitting on the floor. All right, I'm sitting on the floor since my current desk is the boxes, which works perfectly fine, by the way. Okay, I don't know why. It sounds so scuffed, but I promise y'all it works. All right, that's why I said for the desk. The desk can be funded whenever it's funded. There's no rush for the desk to be funded. Okay. All right. But here's the picture that Trilly's talking about. Okay. All right. Wait, where is it? Where's the pictures at? Hello. It should be in here. What? I'm looking for this. Where did it go? Where is my 3D photo shoot? There it is. So, if I go to this picture right here. Why is the picture so scuffed? Look, that's how I look like. That was me. Every time that I had to like go to I had to like stand down or like bend down to, you know, type on the keyboard or to like check the computer. That's what I look like, because whenever I sit at my desk on the floor, my boxes, I sit like that. And so they kept making fun of me. Every time that we would be in the middle of taking the photo shoot for the thumbnails, and then I would have to like bend down like this to go to my desk, you know, level. And so they kept making fun of me for it. I was just like, what's wrong? I just need to go check my... I had to go check my, you know, my stuff. But here, I'll give you some GIFs, okay? This is some GIFs, okay? Of me actually moving properly. Alright? Look, I'm moving. This is 3D photo shoot. Thanks. A big thank you to Trilly, by the way. Trilly was the one to take these screenshots and captures for my thumbnail, as well as for these really cute GIFs here. Wait, look, here's another screenshot of me, I think, standing up. Oh no, this is me sitting down. You can see me sitting down again. So I'm sitting again, you know. I'm trying to use my keyboard and my mouse. And then Trilly took a GIF of that. And then there's this one too right here. God, why do I sit like that? And then there's another one right here. That's her picking up her mic. Wait, this one? This one right here? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I don't have a lavalier mic, and so for the 3D stream, I was holding it in my hand the whole time. Here, I think you can see it in this GIF as well. Oh, no. This is the one where Trilly told me to dance. And so I just started dancing, and I was just like, what the heck am I doing? I'm just... That, the one where you move your arm closer? Where? Is it this one? Or is it the other one? Thank you, Bar. Thank you, Lily. I don't know if you're listening, Lily, but Lily, I love you, ma'am. Thank you so much for wishing me good luck. I really appreciate that. Thank you. The first one I showed? Oh, really? Oh! I didn't even realize that! Oh my god, you can see me! Yeah, so this is how far I had to like bend down to grab my mic because my mic is on the box tower. But when I stand up, you know, it's a lot lower than I am. And so I have to like reach down to grab them. Oh my god. Dang, I didn't even realize that was a gif of me picking up the mic. That's funny. That's pretty funny. But no, that's not lower accurate height. Okay, that is not lower accurate height. Chibi Vera is a lot smaller than like full Vera. For my 3D model in the future, you guys will see like, you know, the comparison of like Chibi Vera next to full-sized body 3D Elvira, and you'll see the difference. Okay? Alright? Chibi Vera is a lot smaller. Just like with Chong Vera. Chong Vera is also a lot smaller too. Yeah. Hi, West! Welcome on in. Hello there. You believe me? I have a feeling you guys do not believe me. Hi, Huddle. Welcome on in to you too. Hello. Welcome. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was, I thought it was funny. I think it's funny. Like, I think I'll look back on it in the future whenever, you know, I do have the desk. And I'll think back to, like... Because I remember when I first moved, you know, I had some friends that told me, they're like, yeah, Elvira, get ready. Get ready for the box table and the box chair experience when you move to your first apartment. And I was just like, what? And they're like, yeah, because furniture is really expensive. I don't know if you guys know that, but furniture is one of the most expensive things that you could get in your apartment. And so most people, they just don't get furniture right off the bat. And so I mentioned it before, but we were very lucky. You know, there were some friends that did have furniture that they were essentially just giving away because they had moved recently. And so thankfully, there was furniture that we had. But I'm having that experience for my streaming space.
Elvi-brows.
Flip, thank you so much for the resub at 16 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay as a tea bun. Thank you so much, Flip. Can we get some more love and hype in the chat, please, for that resub from Flip. Thank you for 16 months. Thank you. Oh my gosh, a whole year and 4 months. Thank you, Maxi. No, not male living space. Just like broke apartment first, or not even broke. Just like first apartment vibes. You know, right? And I've heard that too from other friends that have moved in for the first time. You know, they just don't have any furniture. And if you do have people that do have furniture to give you, it really does help out a lot. And so once again, like I said, we were very lucky to have friends that had furniture that they were giving away. But yeah, so for my space though, like I moved, right? If you guys remember. And so for me, you can't really like move a whole desk. And so I was okay with just using my boxes for my streaming space, you know? Because I told myself, if it works, it works. And it does work, you know? And then with the desk, it'd be there and as like a gift, like a contribution on Throne, just to help out if you guys can. And then whenever it gets either, you know, like 75% funded or fully funded, then I would get the desk. And then I'd be able to use it, you know, here in the new apartment, since it is a bigger expense. And so I told myself, if I can make the boxes work, I will make it work. And I can make it work. And it's worked for me. It's worked for me. I've gotten used to it, you know? I feel like if anything, I feel like the people around me are more concerned about it than I am. Everyone that hears about the situation, they're just like, oh my God, Elf, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It works with me. Like when I say it works, it works. If it wasn't working, then obviously I would, you know, find alternatives. But like I said, it works, it works. And, you know, the fact that there are people that want to, you know, contribute and help out with my desk, you know, the new desk, the standing desk, that really means a lot to me. I'm really grateful for that. Because, you know, it is expensive to move and expensive to get furniture. And so it really helps out a lot already that we're even 50% of the way of the new desk. I wasn't expecting to get a new desk, honestly, until like next year or something. And so as of right now, you know, I'm just like, what the heck? Thank you guys for helping out with the new desk. On the subject of table, is there another way to contribute to the Throne? I would like to fork over a few bucks, but I can only do so with PayPal. Flip, that's really sweet of you. Wait, Ashy! Ashy, thank you so much for the contribution to my desk. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Ashy. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for the contribution from Ashy? And yes, for Flip, thank you. That really means a lot to even ask. And for those that are wondering, yes, if you guys do want to help out with the desk, it doesn't have to be through Throne. There are some people that have already contributed through other means, such as through my like Stream Elements donation link, and so if you want to do it through that instead, that works as well. And so yeah, it does not have to be through Throne, because I know not everyone is able to donate through Throne. But thank you, Flip, for even asking. That's very kind of you. And Ashy, thank you for the contribution. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashy. Thank you. But yeah, once I have the desk, though, I'm going to be Stan Vera. I'm excited. I'm really excited, actually, because I've always wanted to have like a standing desk, you know? And so I think that'd be so cool. I think it'd be really cool to, you know, stand for streams, because I've been sitting down, you know, streaming for the past like 5 years and stuff. And so I feel like it's going to be a nice change to like stand, you know, for my streams. A lot healthier too, right? And then it'd be real nice in the future to even have like a walking pad, like maybe like in next year or something. And so yeah, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool just to have like a healthier means of streaming instead of sitting down the entire day. Oh my gosh, at 53%! Thank you, Trailie! Thank you for the update. Ashy, thank you again. Pretend they're ducks, okay? Yes, okay. The desk is adjustable, all right? The desk is adjustable. And so yes, I would be able to see over my desk. I would be able to adjust it properly. Okay? Alright? I know, because I've seen Twirly use it. It's the same desk that Twirly has. And so, from Twirly's review and then from me also doing research, it sounds like a pretty good desk. A pretty sturdy desk. Hey! Who did that? Excuse me? Who's throwing items at me? What the heck? Who's doing... Hey! Who is this? Who is throwing stuff at me? Excuse me. Oh, those are the ducks? Oh, okay, fine. Okay. Oh, faster. Okay, that was a little intense. Your poor back right now? I do not need a chair. A chair is not necessary, okay? That is specifically why I did not put a chair onto the throne, because a chair I do not need. You know, if I have a standing desk, I'm just gonna stand. You know, what's the point of a chair if I can just stand? You know? Flip!
Flipping some desks for Stan Farah.
Wait, not the pun. Thank you for the $20 donation, Flip. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for that $20 donation as well from Flip for the desk. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do not need the chair, Cian. I told you. I'm just gonna stand. During my streams. Who's spraying me? Excuse me. Hey. I said all I need is a desk. Okay? Alright? I don't need a chair. I can just stand. I have a standing desk 2 days and I got tired of it and I just use a normal desk. Really? I can see that though, because I feel like yeah, if standing is tiring, you know, standing all day is tiring, and so even standing for like an hour can be tiring, and so yeah, I feel like you know, it makes sense that. Oh,
Tie for pretend ducks elve flower elve love.
Ashy, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I really appreciate that. Thank you. No, I got you. Okay, Ashy, I got you. Okay, even if I already did the previous ones, you know, if you give more, I will still do it for you. Thank you, Ashley, for the 1,000 bits. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. I do have a standing desk. I use it as a normal desk. Kind of scared to try and bring it up because of all the cables and stuff. Hey! Derby, is that you again? Thank you so much for the for all the items. Spoiling! No, if anything, you're spoiling me. What the heck, Ashy? You got twisted. You're the one spoiling me. Thank you, Addie. So thank you for the 10 bits as well. Thank you so much. I did, Pedro. I love Dawn. Dawn is my favorite female companion that Ash has, and so for me, I used to love Dawn like so much, and so I got a Piplup so I can match with her. Back in the day. But yeah, in terms of like the cables, right? Yeah, if you have a standing desk, you do have to keep in mind, you know, like if you do want to raise your standing desk, you have to have it in a way where the cables are long enough, you know, for them to lift up. And so, yeah, standing desks are nice if you are able to have the cables to go with it. But yeah, if you don't have cables to go with it and your outlet's kind of low on the ground, yeah, it's gonna be a little rough if you don't have like the extension cables and stuff. But yeah, like when I say don't need a chair, I'm being honest, you know, like I've sat down for the past 5 years, 6 years-ish of me streaming, and so I'm ready to stand. I'm ready to not be sitting down the entire time. I will say gaming while standing might be a little difficult for me to get used to at first, just because I'm so used to just like sitting down, you know, and not thinking about standing as I game. But I think it'll be easy adjustment just to, you know, switch over to standing. And plus, for me, when I stream, you know, it's only for a few hours every day. And I think it'd be nice to stand up those few hours. Because, you know, I'm just not as active. I'm not as active as I used to be back in the day when I'd be walking around and whatnot all day, every day teaching. And so I think it'd be nice just to give myself, you know, purposeful standing time while I stream with y'all. We can be, you know, healthy together. I think having the choice for standing desk is definitely good. My partner has one. He doesn't use it on standing very often, but on occasion he stands. Definitely want to get any anti-fatigue mat for standing position though. What's an anti-fatigue mat? What's that? Hi, Soup. Welcome on in. Getting the power strip attached to the table helps. Yes, yeah. That the desk that I've been funding for, or not crowdfunding, but the one that I put for crowdfunding on Throne is once again the same one that Twirly has, and that desk has a lot of goodies that comes with it for free. You know, since it is on the more expensive side, and so one of the options is that it does have like the extension cord on the desk that comes with it. And so that really does help out a lot, especially for me with all my cables for streaming. And does it come with a foldable chair? I think there's an option to buy like a hammock or a foldable chair with it. But I don't want to sit in a foldable chair. I don't want to sit in a plastic chair. I saw the lawn chair, you know, the lawn plastic chair. I think that'd be more uncomfortable sitting in that during stream than standing. Hi, Shiny Green Dino. Welcome on in. Hello. Hi, Mod Rocker. Nice to see you today. Welcome on in. Happy Tuesday. As a guy in a wheelchair, I am so happy I can stand at my desk for a few minutes. Sometimes, and at home, I use a high stool to lean over so I can stand longer in front of my desk. That really does sound like such a blessing. And, you know, I think it's cool. I'm really glad, that they have made standing desks. You know, it does make things more accessible for more people, especially just to even be able to like adjust it, you know, for people that are taller or shorter. And so it's really cool. Really cool that they're making things more adjustable. Back at the laptop. Welcome back. Welcome back to the laptop. Hello. Yeah, it comes with a lot of helpful add-ons. Exactly. Yeah. No, it does, Bender. It does. There's the option to, purchase a hammock and or a folding chair. It's just like the softish foam mats you stand on, because standing on hardwood floor or even carpeted floor, because the floor underneath... Oh! I don't stand on like floors naked. I always have slippers. I'm a slipper type of gal. I don't like going barefoot around the house. And so I usually have slippers on that I use. So I guess the slippers can kind of be like the softening cushion for my feet when I stand. But yeah, I don't like having naked feet when I walk around. Shoeless! Okay, you know what I mean, okay? Naked feet. Shoeless. Yes. Yeah. I like having slippers. I always like having slippers, you know? I'm sorry. I don't know. My brain just decided to word it that way. All right? Depends on the slippers you have. I want to get the slippers that I got for my mom, because I got my mom like the cloud slippers, the really like chonky ones, right? Because I remember when I was at home and I would wear them at night to cook and stuff, I'm like, dang, I feel tall. And they're squishy. They're really squishy too. And so I kind of want to purchase those for myself, because I'm just like, oh, those are nice. But they're also a tripping hazard. And so if I do get them, I have to be careful where I place it, because I tripped over those slippers so much as well. And so I'm just like, oh, it could be nice. But then, you know... Because if they're just flat, it might still be a lot on your body. I should be fine. I used to teach. I would stand all day. And so I think I've gotten used to it. I've built up like the standing stamina, you know? I used to stand in heels, by the way. I used to teach in heels. God. Did I? Oh, I did not. I was thinking about it just now. I was like, did I take my heels with me? I did not. Hot? Okay, whoa. What the heck is it? They weren't like stilettos, okay? They were just like, you know, like 1-inch heels just to give me some height. I don't know. For me, I felt like I looked a bit more taller, obviously, in my heels. And so I was just like, okay, that's a nice way to, you know, differentiate. Because I remember when I was just like, if doing field experience, you know, in classrooms before I taught, there were some kids that came up to me and they're like, are you sure you're a student? And I was just like, they're like, are you sure you're not a student? And I was like, yeah, I'm a teacher. And they're like, but if you're a teacher, why are you almost the same height as us? And I was just like, I was just like, they got me. And they were like 5th grade kids. They were 5th graders. And so they were just like, yeah, you don't look very tall for a teacher. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to wear heels. I'm going to wear heels for the rest of my teaching career. And so I wore heels every day after that, whenever I'd go in for like a field experience or whenever I'd go in for teaching, you know? And so, yeah, I've always worn heels whenever it comes to like professional settings, just to give me some extra height, you know? I know I don't need to, but it's just for like my own personal preference. And so, yeah, whenever there's like any sort of like official business thingy, I always wear heels. If it's for a wedding, I wear heels. If it's for a business meeting, I wear heels. If it's for teaching, I wear heels. If it's for a party, I'll probably wear heels unless it's not as like fancy schmancy. If it's more casual, then I probably will not wear heels. Unless it's like for example, like if it's like a summery, like if it's summer themed beach party or like a summer party, like a backyard pool party, then I'll probably wear heels with like a summer dress. That's like my type of vibe. I like wearing heels. But yeah, I've worn heels like pretty much throughout my life. And so I've gotten used to wearing heels. Do they hurt? After a few hours, of course they do. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable wearing heels now after wearing it so much in my life. I definitely cannot wear heels. And that's fine too. Honestly, it's a lot better for your feet that you don't wear heels. It's a lot better. Nah, I should have sent them to Yoda. We wear slippers at home, but even in the kitchen when we're cooking, we need the anti-fatigue mats because even standing in the same spot for an hour or something is uncomfortable. Ah, that's true. No, I didn't say take it back, but you know, I don't think I ever thought like, oh yeah, I'm wearing heels for teaching. That's hot. It sounds like you know, like during Halloween, there's like those costumes that some people will wear for parties, you know, and it's like the spicy, you know, like the spicy outfits, right? And it's for like occupations like spicy firefighter or spicy teacher. But then like as an actual teacher, I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like I can only imagine what like actual firefighters think when they see it. They're just like, wheels, heels, all the same, all a fashion statement. Oh my god, I used to want Heelys so badly. Like no joke, I really wanted Heelys when I was younger, but I never got them because, you know, our family was poor and Heelys were expensive. They were an expense, and so I never had a pair of Heelys. But as a kid, that was like my dream. I used to see, you know, my cousins and my older classmates or fellow classmates have Heelys, and I was so jealous. I was just like, oh man, all they want in life are Heelys and the pink Razor flip phone. That's all I wanted as a kid. I was just like, god, they look so cool, you know? Maybe one day I'll give myself a pair of Heelys. I don't even know if they make Heelys anymore, but yeah, I really wanted to do all like the fancy tricks and stuff with Heelys, but I never got them. And then I went to sea walking because I was just like, oh well, if I can't use Heelys, I might as well sea walk. Heelys were cool until you're walking normally, and yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I had some friends that did that in the hallway. Yeah, they would accidentally like slip. Yeah. I always wanted, because like if you had Heelys, you were so cool. I didn't even care about that. I didn't care if you were cool. I just wanted to do the tricks. I wanted to, because I used to rollerblade, you know, when I was younger. I used to ride my bike on rollerblade. And so I thought Heelys were so cool. It's like a combination of, you know, rollerblading, but with your shoes. And so you could like casually just like walk and then just rollerblade, but not rollerblade because you're using Heelys. And then there was a point where I wanted to skateboard too, but I was too scared to skateboard. And so I never skateboarded. I was too much of a weenie to skateboard. But I wanted Heelys. Yeah, rollerblading is different though because you know, you have the blade, the heels, or not heels, the wheels are in the shoe that you're wearing, right? Depending on what type of rollerblading or roller skating that you have. You either have like the 1x3 or 1x4, or there's a 2x2, right? Depending on which ones you wear. And so I used to have like the 1x4 that I used to do for rollerblading when I was younger. And I just thought it was so cool. I thought it was so cool seeing people casually walk and then just start, you know, using their Heelys. It's just one single wheel with a Heely under your foot. But I thought it was so cool. You just like bust out, you know, just like a wee as you're walking during recess. And so I really wanted to. You can walk. You'd be surprised though, but once you kind of get control of how to like rollerblade, you can walk with your rollerblades. I've done that before. Like I remember whenever Mom Beer would be like, okay, Elvira, time to come back inside. I'll just like, instead of rollerblading over, I'll just like walk over because it was fun. You just go like boop, boop, boop. But of course it depends on like the floor that you're on. You know, I used to rollerblade on like concrete, and so I just like walk on my rollerblades in concrete. Just boop, boop, boop. Kids at Ripsticks? What are Ripsticks? Hi Bean, welcome on in. I don't think they make them anymore, but I think you can still find them like on resale places. Oh. They still do. My youngest brother has a pair. Wait, that's so cool that they still make them. What the? Dang, your young brother is probably like the cool kid in school. You know what I mean? I used to think that about the people that wore the Heelys. I was like, dang, they're the cool kids. Slight slopes reminds you of rollerblades. That was my fear when it came to riding my bike, because I don't know why riding a bike was scarier than rollerblading. And my dad, he made it like a thing, you know, because Dad really wanted to have like one-on-one time with Brovere and I. And so he'd always make it a thing to make us be active on the days that we hung out with him, you know, when he was off work. And so he would always take us on like bike rides around the neighborhood. And of course, he you know, he made us have helmets. He made us wear, you know, like shin pads and knee pads and elbow pads and all that jazz. It was still scary though. It was still pretty terrifying, you know, to go down slopes. It was kind of scary. It was pretty scary. Hold on, give me 1 second, chat. I'm getting a phone call real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. Never mind. They hung up as soon as I picked up. I got an OF orange fedora. Wait, where did that come from? Is that an actual like fedora hat, or is that like a brand of a bike? Bikes are definitely scarier than anything else you've mentioned. Yeah, bikes are pretty scary. But I was like a little gremlin, because you know how like there's an actual brake, like a hand brake for bikes, right? You know what I used to do? So there's like another way to brake, which is not the best way to brake it because it's very bad for your tires. But I had a bike. I used to have a bike, because our bikes we get weren't new bikes. We would find like hand-me-down bikes, or we would get bikes that people were throwing away, you know, and they just didn't mind if we took them. And so there was a bike that I had that we got from a neighbor, and there was no brake on the bike. And so my other neighbor, who is like a childhood friend, he taught me how to brake without a brake. Essentially, how you brake without a brake. Don't do this, by the way. It's very dangerous. But he was like, okay, the way you brake without handbrake is you brake by pedaling backwards. So, with my first like big girl bike, I used to just like spin the pedal backwards all the time to brake. Because essentially, if you spin the pedal backwards, it forces the wheels to stop. And so you kind of like slide to a halt, if that makes sense, from the inertia, right? And so that was how you brake, essentially, if you're going downhill and then you have to brake. Very dangerous. Don't do it, by the way. But that's what I used to do all the time. All the time. I would do that all the time. And it was specifically for that bike, once again. I don't know why, but with that bike, it just worked. And so every time that I'd go bike riding with, you know, with some friends, I would just like go backwards, specifically to brake like that. And I don't know why, but it was really fun to see like the skid marks from the bike tire, you know, on the floor from essentially, you know, I kind of feel like drifting, but not drifting, but it's just like a skirt. And then you see the line, you see the line from the bike and you're just like, whoa, that's kind of cool. But this was like, what, like 8-year-old Elvira? And so 8-year-old Elvira was a bit of a gremlin, if you can't tell already. But yeah, I was just like, whoa, that's so cool. That's so cool. I can brake backwards without an actual brake. I know, Silva. I found that out the hard way. I tried doing that with like a newer bike that we had gotten from another neighbor. And when I tried to do the exact same thing, it did not work. And I was kind of scared. I almost fell off my bike. Because I was like, it's not braking. It's not braking. And my dad was just like, there's a handbrake. Just use the handbrake. And I was just like, oh, I forgot. Handbrakes are a thing. And so, yeah. But yeah, I was very grateful though. I was very grateful that there were so many neighbors that gave us bikes that they no longer used. Because bikes are expensive. Bikes were expensive to get. Bikes with gears tend to not let you pedal backwards to brake. Yeah. The one that we had gotten had gears on it. And I was just like, whoa. Whoa. I get scared to answer unknown calls nowadays because I heard people record your voice and use them to train. Oh, that's exactly why I'll just, you know, I mean, I just kind of answer. I'll be like, hello, and then that's it, you know. But I don't think it was a scam call. I think I just answered too late because I did let it ring for a little bit because it did say scam likely, but I just wanted to answer just in case. And so I decided a bit too late to pick up the call. And so it had literally like just as I pressed answer, it ended. And so I don't think it was a scam. But yeah. Bikes with gear, but bikes without gears do have backpedaling to brake. Because my first bike at like age 8, 9 had a back pedal to brake. I see. But yeah, those are the days when I used to just like rollerblade. You know what's messed up though? You know what's so messed up? So we weren't able to get a bike, but my dad, he had saved up enough to get us like scooters. You know, he said, I can't afford you guys bikes, but I can at least get you guys some like new scooters. You know, and they're not like the fancy schmancy like electric scooters. It's just like the regular scooters that you like pedal with your foot. Or not pedal with your foot, but you just kind of like push off with your foot, you know? And so Davir, he saved up money to get one for Brovir and I to have. And so I've talked about this before, but someone stole Brovir's scooter. And I was just like, ain't no way. Someone just like, they came into the garage because like in our neighborhood, you know, it was like a safe neighborhood. And so everyone just like has their garage open, you know, literally everyone has their garage open. And then someone just came up in broad daylight and stole the scooter out of the garage. And it was like this teenager punk. And back then I was like 10 or something. And so, you know, I was too scared to say anything because I was just like, what if this guy's dangerous, you know? And so I just kind of like, I saw the teenager like come up to our driveway. And then I went to go grab my mom. And then I saw the guy like disappear after I went to go grab my mom. And then as Mom Vera is like coming down, I see the guy. He like bolts out of the garage with my brother's scooter. And I was just like, oh, he stole Brovier's scooter. And then I like Mom Veer came down to me and then she's like, what happened? And I'm like, I think somebody stole Broveer's scooter. And to this day, you know, we've never gotten the scooter back. But I was just like, man, because our neighborhood, we were in the suburbs. It was real safe and stuff. And so you just never heard of stuff like that happening. And then ever since then, everyone in the neighborhood, they no longer kept the garage open anymore. But that incident was the one that, kind of just made everyone be a bit more wary of their garage. It kind of sucks, Just like, man, this teenager punk really just came up in broad daylight and stole Bro Vera's scooter. And I was so sad because, once again, Dad Vera, we didn't have a lot of money back in the day, especially. And so he saved up money from work just so he could get us each a scooter to at least, ride around in. That wasn't, secondhand. And I was just like, man, they stole Bro Vera's scooter. And Bro Vera used his scooter more than me. And so there was a part of me that kind of wished that they took my scooter instead. But yeah, I just let Bro Vera use my scooter after that. I was like, okay, Bro Vera, you can just use my Barbie scooter. I'm just like, man. But he was like, man, I don't want to use a Barbie scooter. And I was like, well, you can if you want to, okay? All right. But yeah, there are people, man. There are people that will yoink anything, Oh, see, at school, right? It's like at school, unfortunately, it's kind of known that people will steal stuff at like school, at bikes and whatnot. And so in public spaces, it's not unheard of to have your stuff stolen, like a bike or a scooter. But I was just like, this person really came through the driveway into the garage and then just took something out of the garage. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's like a next level evil. It's evil to take somebody's stuff in public, but then to like take something by going all the way, through someone's driveway into the garage. I'm just like, what the heck? Hi, 123. Welcome on in today. Hello. Today's the day. Yes. Today's the day. I'm sorry to think the Danger Punk didn't steal your... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know why. It's exactly because, it was a Barbie scooter. And I'm pretty sure the teenager guy was just like, yeah, it's not really my thing, It was pink. It was like pink Barbie scooter too. It literally had Barbie all over the scooter. And then Bro Vera's scooter was just like a generic scooter, I'm just hoping that maybe... There's a part of me that kind of hopes that maybe that teenager needed that scooter more than we did, He's the theft repellent. I'm not the Barbie being a theft repellent. You'd be surprised. Some people might want that Barbie scooter, Oh my gosh, CJ, I've heard of that too. Yeah, like back at my university, I've heard stories of people just taking the bike seat by itself. Yeah, just the seat, Because you can sell parts of bikes if you just want to make a quick buck. And so, yeah, some people will just steal the tires. Some people will just steal the bike seat. I remember I was walking around the city. There was literally a bike chained to a pole. And then the next time that came back into the city, all that was left of the bike was like the metal part of it, The chain was gone. The tires were gone. The handlebars were gone. The seat was gone. And so it was just like the base, like the body, the skeleton of the bike that was left over. And I was just like, dang, people really ransacked the bike. They just ripped it apart, for pieces. Yeah, tires. Yeah, they steal everything. The seat, the tire, the chain, everything. When I was younger, I found a Pokemon Crystal game cassette on the ground at school. Oh, you didn't tell anybody? Did you take it? Did you take it, Rage C? You don't have to answer it if you don't want to answer it. That's why I always brought 2 chains, one for the front and one for the back. Yes. Usually they recommend that if you're going to lock up your bike, you want to lock it with the chain. You don't want to lock it like with the body because they can yoink the tires and stuff. Yeah. You played it? I think that's, I think when you're younger, especially, you're not like as aware of stuff like that. And so I don't think you should blame yourself for, what you did back then. It was for the Game Boy Color, but it still worked in my, Game Boy Advance. Yeah, like if I, for example, if I had a younger sibling that did something like that, I would tell them, that I would talk to them. I'll give them like the older sister talk, about how like next time maybe don't do that, you know, like especially in like a school, like as a teacher, right? As a teacher, even with my students, I'd probably be like, you know, as a teacher, it's probably best to bring it to, you know, lost and found, or to a teacher just to check to see if it belongs to anyone, you know, since those things are expensive. But if it's like from a sister perspective, you know, like as a kid, like if someone has lost it and you picked it up, kids don't know. Kids don't think about stuff like that, you know, because kids don't have that self-awareness. They don't think about like to that far in terms of like just like taking an item like that. They just see like, oh my God, it's on the ground, it's free, you know? And so I wouldn't blame the kid for doing something like that. But in the future, you know, I would say that I would teach them though for future instances. So don't blame yourself, Rage D. Don't blame yourself, okay? Like I said, you were young back then. Not that, yo, professor over here, what we learning today? Today, we learn about why it's important to not follow in the footsteps of me hunting for a shiny Piplup. Today, we learn that a shiny starter is not the way to go for shiny Pokemon. Exactly, right? Finding it as a lost item is different from yanking it from somebody. Exactly, right? And so that's why when kids, like, you know, for example, like there are kids that they don't realize that they're stealing something until a lot later when their parents tell them, or when adults tell them about it. Because when you're young, you don't know, you know, like when you find something on the ground that is not a free game type of thing, right? Even adults, they're still adults, you know, like there's some adults where if they see someone drop their wallet, they will still take it, you know, and not return it to the owner. And so, yeah. When you're younger, I feel like you're definitely not to blame because you're not as aware. You're more naive. But then when you're older, you know, when you're older as an adult, people definitely know what they're doing. That's why for kids, you know, there's a lot of things I don't blame kids doing because they just don't know. Or they were never taught. Or they're just naive about it, you know? Doesn't mean I'm not going to correct them. But yeah. When I was a little kid, my friend's small ball fell beside my foot and I hit it with my foot, picked it up and took it home. I feel bad to this day. We're friends to this day. Life worked out. Yeah, right? It's like, once again, you know, it's like when you're younger, you kind of do things and you just don't realize it. And then when you get older, you learn about more of like what's right and what's wrong. And so, yeah, we learn from our mistakes. The importance of patience, yes. Oh, I lost my photography class camera and no one turned it in. I left it in a class or something and I checked it for it. And it wasn't inexpensive though. My brother did find a good deal on eBay, so it wasn't too expensive either. But I was sad because I lost my motivation to do photography after I lost it because it was my first camera. No, Silva. Oh, man. Dang, not the camera. I lost my toy guitar from a cereal years ago, and I remembered it ended up in lost and found, and well, I lost it. No, Ray. Oh, yeah. I feel like when you're young too, we all kind of just lose something. Like I remember I used to blame myself for it whenever I lost something, because I'm very forgetful. Like let me tell you, the amount of times that I've left my glasses behind in my classes was crazy. I'm surprised I even got my glasses back because there were so many times where I would go to my teacher and be like, excuse me, can I go back to my previous class? I left my glasses there. And they're just like, again, Elvira? And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I blame myself because I'd be the person where I'm nearsighted, you know? And so I wouldn't want to wear my glasses all the time, except for if I needed it. And so when I didn't wear my glasses, I would put it on like the side of my desk or inside the desk. And I would always forget it. Always. And so I'd always blame myself. I'm just like, dang it, Elvira. Reason 101 why I dislike smart TVs. I'm trying to watch SpongeBob, but for some reason, even though the Wi-Fi is working for me and the TV seems okay, it couldn't open. Oh God, not the hiccups. Now I know why physical media is better. Oh man, I remember there's so many instances where Yeah, I've seen things happen, like, especially for games, you know. I feel like with games, I've always been more of like a physical collector. Also, this is 6,775. Will the doubters win? No! The doubters have won yet again. No, man. All right, take your points. Take your points, doubters. You have won yet again. All right, let me give you your points. Prediction. Choose outcome. No way. I'm so sorry, believers. Today was a big gamba, too. Today was a very big gamba. Oh my gosh. Big gamba. 172,000 points. Holy moly. You guys really went all in. Oh my gosh. Omni! Wait, why did I read it out? Here, I'll read it for you, okay, Omni? If I was your teacher, I would have my next class hold for a minute while I went to your next class and told the next teacher, keep an eye out for that one. She tried the old, I forgot my glasses, so I can't see. Oh! You thought I was lying? That was the truth, okay? That was the truth. I need my glasses, okay? All right? I couldn't see the board, and so thankfully, my teachers, they believed me because, you know, they knew that I was forgetful. All right. I thought that was going a different way. I thought you're going to be like, I thought you're going to see like, oh, keep an eye out for this one. She's going to forget her glasses. But no, you said keep an eye out for that one. She tried the old trick. It's not a trick. It's not a trick. It's real. Nanette! My favorite thing about the shiny Piplup hunt stream is seeing the new memes. Hi, Nanette. Welcome on in. Can we get a shout out for Nanette, please? Welcome on in. Thank you for liking the memes. The memes are so funny. I'm so glad that the community is so into the memes as well. But Nanette, how are you doing today? It's so nice to see you. Hello. Actually, speaking of memes, I think there's a new meme actually that just came out today. Oh my god. Bio, what the heck? What the heck are these? Okay. So, right there, Bio, you know, one of my lovely mods, has made new memes to add to the meme channel. And so, I will add them to my folder of memes so you guys can see it as well. But I have no words. Let me show you. Let me pull up the folder real quick. Where is the folder? I have lost the folder. Here it is. Omni! It muted. What did you say this time, Omni? I'm scared. It didn't say the text-to-speech again. What did it say? Thank you for the 100 bits, though. If I was your teacher for real, I would buy like a bunch of eyeglasses chains and give them to you so you wouldn't ever lose them again. You know, I would have been so grateful. If you had actually been a teacher that had done that for me, I would have been so grateful because that would have helped out so much. I wouldn't care if it looked like a librarian. You know, that would have been so helpful, honestly. I could just like wear it around my neck. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If I was your teacher, I'd pay for your LASIK. I don't want LASIK though. It's like LASIK surgery. I've heard of the wonders of it, but I've also heard of like the risk of LASIK surgery. And so I don't think I'd ever risk LASIK surgery for me personally, just because I'm really afraid of the outcomes that if it does go wrong type of thing. So thank you, Binter, but no thank you. I would not go for LASIK personally. But look. These are the memes. These are the memes that Bio made today. Thank you, Bio, for the memes. Once again, I'm sorry for telling you to shut up. That was uncalled for. Where is it? Where's the... Oh, here it is. I found it. I am sorry! It's like when I crashed on Wuppo, I feel bad still. You said it was okay, but I still feel bad. I'm just like, man. I told Bio to shut up earlier because I was talking about the remakes and how Game Freak made the remake of, or did not make the remake of Diamond and Pearl, but I said GameStop because we were talking about GameStop as well. And so Bio, he was like sassing me. He was like, did you say GameStop? He like emphasized the stop part, and then I have like no patience today, like little patience, and I was just like, shut up. You know what I mean? And now I feel bad because I was being mean, and so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bio. Some people I can like talk like that too, but I'm like, no, I cannot talk like that with Bio. I don't know if Bio's okay with me talking like that to him. if there's some close friends where I can like talk like that, but with Bio, I was just like, oh, that's mean. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Bio. But look, these are the memes that Bio made right here. Bio made this Elvira Piplup Hunters, which is a pun on the Kirby game. And then we also have the other one right here. Are you ready? No bully. No bully. I take accountability when I'm in the wrong. Where is it? Where is it? Not the mods. Blink twice if y'all need help. No, no. I always tell the mods too, if I'm ever in the wrong for something, you know, whether it be like with the mods or with the community, I want them to always to call me out because, you know, they are there to help me. And I'm there as their scuff streamer, you know, and I'm always willing to learn and to fix my mistakes. Yes, yes. I thought I saved it. Did I not save it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay, here's the other one. Here's the other one that Bio made. Look! So I don't know where this is from, but the person's like, this is brilliant, you know, to the red car, which is the regular Piplup. But then the guy down below is like, but I like this one. It's literally the same thing, just a different color. And so, yep, that's me. It's like practically the same, but yeah, I really do want the shiny one. Thank you, Bio. Thank you for the memes. I appreciate you. Thank you, Bio. But yeah, it should officially be in the slideshow, and so you should see that pop up. But yeah, if you guys want to, you know, contribute to the slideshow, you can definitely contribute as well, all right? In the meme section of our Discord, and then I will add it. Thank you, Bio. This is so good. I'm glad you like it, Nanette. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the community that made some very, very lovely, lovely memes. Okay. All right. It is time for me to swap over to some Fields of Mystery. Oh man, but I feel like today's was so short. I feel like even though it's been like 2 hours of us resetting, I want to go more. I want to gamble more. I want to do more. Man, waiting for a Piplup outbreak in Scarlet to get a shiny one. Maybe I can use a screenshot of it in the wild to make a meme one day. If you do a flip, let me know. I'll definitely add it in. Really needed that because I have difficulty reading some stuff like subtitles on my TV. I got glasses last year for the first time in 8 or 9 years. Oh my gosh. Did you guys know you're supposed to actually get your eye checkup like twice a year? Or not twice a year. Every 2 years. Every 2 years, you're supposed to go get your eye checked up. But yeah, I feel like I'm more in that sense too, right? I don't really get my eyes checked up as much as I should. Hi, Kiwi! I'm doing well today. How about you? It's a little hot today. It's still hot this week. But aside from that, it's nice right now. Every year, if your prescription expires... Every year? You know how expensive that is? When we were on insurance, right, for my glasses when I was younger, it was still $200 for my lenses. And so we couldn't do that. We couldn't afford to get new glasses every single year. And so, oh yeah, mine expired too. You know, mine expired as well. But I just kept my glasses. Like I kept the same glasses for a long time. And then it was only until my glasses broke that I went to go get another checkup. Because it was just expensive. It was expensive back then, right? And so, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would just keep my glasses. I'll keep the exact same glasses I had until they broke. And then I'd go back in for like another checkup to get another prescription to get new glasses. And so, yeah. And then after I got older, yeah, then I started ordering my own glasses online. And so, yeah, I just get them online now. And they're a lot more affordable, even, you know, with insurance. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do this instead because it's a lot more affordable getting them online as opposed to getting them through like the doctors, you know, with their brands that they work with. It was just so expensive. It was so expensive for some designs that weren't even that cute. Because for me, I wanted the really cute lenses, like the ones that you see in Japan. And so my current glasses are Miffy glasses, right? They had the collaboration with one of the eyeglass companies that is online with Miffy. And so that was my first time ever getting glasses online that were Miffy themed. And they work great. They still work to this day. And so, yeah. But I should probably get a checkup. It's been a while since I've gotten my eyes checked up. If you lost or broke glasses, you can't get them made in person. But yeah, glasses for my are expensive because I need a high... Yeah. The higher your prescription, unfortunately, the more expensive they are because of the lenses. Yeah. Part of the reason why I hardly wear them these days. Fun fact, even in Germany, glasses are expensive. For some reason, they aren't necessarily covered by insurance. You see, I think that's so bogus, especially with glasses, you know, because glasses are things that people need. Like, I don't need them, but there are people that need them to see, you know, and if they don't have them, they're just they won't be able to see. And so I think it's bogus that they're so expensive. I want them to be more accessible, like in Japan. In Japan, they're affordable and they're also easy to get. Like in Japan, if you want, you can have like same day pickup. You just have to pay an extra fee. Or if you want, like I remember Woppo, he talked about it. He said he got his glasses in Japan in like a week-ish, roughly, right? And it was just really smooth, really fast. And I was just like, dang, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, my Miffy glasses did come with the Miffy case. It was a collaboration with the Jin's brand. Yeah, Tofu, yeah. That was the one that I had for my Miffy one. Here, I'll show you my picture. Or not my picture, but I'll show you a picture of the glasses that I got. But yeah, I feel like glasses, you know, because they're a necessity, I feel like they should be more accessible for people and more affordable. I don't know why they're so expensive here in the States compared to like in Japan or other places around the world. You know? Here. These are my pair of glasses. I don't know if they still sell them. Yeah, it was the collaboration with Jins and Dick Bruna. This is my pair right here, if I can pull it up. Where is it? Ah, this one right here. Oh, but this doesn't really show the... Here, I'll just show you like the general brand. It's not the exact glasses I have, but it's my case that I have. Alright, so... It was super cute. It was so cute. Yeah, like the ones that the insurance that we had covered, all the frames were ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, I did not like the frames that I had. And I didn't care, but I was just like, man, they didn't look cute like the ones that my friends had at school. And so I was just like, I want cute frames too. And so when I was old enough to, you know, buy my own glasses, I did. And I got my own frames. For a lot cheaper too. And I told Brovere about it. I was like, yeah, if you want to get glasses, you can get them online instead with your prescription. And it's a lot cheaper than when we get them in the store at the doctor's. But look! So this is the Miffy case. And the Miffy, it comes with like a Miffy little microfiber too. And so it's super cute. So the one that I got was the one on the left. It has the Miffy case, the Miffy microfiber with the eyes open. And then my pair of glasses is not seen in this picture, but these are some examples of the Miffy glasses that they had in the line that they came out with back in the day. And so it was super cute. You know, you can see like the Miffy mascots on the side of the glasses. And just like the shape of it was really cute too. Very flattering on the face. And so yeah, I have Miffy glasses. Not the exact ones that you see on here, but mine were the gold frame ones. It was gold frame and then it had like scallop edges. Super cute. Super cute. I love them. Thank you. Thank you, Kiwi. Thank you so much. I was gonna say if these are the same ones you have IRL and it makes sense why your toggle is the same. Yeah, it's, you know, for my glasses, I tried to have them be as similar to the ones that I would wear. And so, yeah, they're pretty similar. Thank you, Mod Rocker, for noticing. I don't need Coach and Prada. Oh my God. I remember I saw Ray-Bans and I was like, oh my God. Whenever I saw people have like their Ray-Ban glasses, I was like, dang, you rich. I was like, you got money like that. You got money like that to have Ray-Bans. Holy moly. And then I found out that there's Coach and Prada frames. And I was just like, oh, there's like a whole different world out there that I did not know about, you know? I'm not the type that wants to have like Coach or Prada or Ray-Bans. But I was like, dang. When I see people wear them with the logo, I'm like, dang, you rich. You rich like that. One thing to not have like really expensive designer frames be covered, but they should cover some. Oh, no. For us, it was like so our insurance was very particular since we were on financial aid growing up. And so I remember my eye doctor, right? When she first introduced me to glasses and to like my first frames to pick out, there was like, okay, so in the doctor's, there was 3 walls of glasses, okay? 3 full walls of glasses that they had available to pick from. And so she brought me to one of the walls. But then at the wall, there was a cupboard. And then in the cupboard, she gave me three cupboard drawers that she pulled out. And she was like, these are the ones you can choose from. And I'm just like, that's it? That's it? And she said, yeah, unfortunately, with your insurance, you only have this select few you can choose from. And it was like, what, like 10 frames-ish to choose from compared to like the whole wall of frames. And I was just like, this is not fair. This is absurd. But I was what, like 13, I think, at the time when I got my first pair of glasses. But I just thought it was so ridiculous, you know, to have like 3 full walls of glasses. And I only had, what, like 10 pairs to choose from. And I was just like, okay, well, that's great. But at this point, I was kind of used to it, you know. It's just like, it's fine, you know. It's okay. It's fine. And then for our, like, I remember it just, yeah, just kept on reoccurring. I was like, okay, so out of all these glasses, I only have like a smallest little sliver of glasses to choose from. But no more. Because now I can purchase them online. Even for Japan. I don't know if you guys know, but there are some brands that are Japanese brands that you can purchase online. Since, you know, you can buy things online nowadays. And so if you want to get cuter frames, I do recommend getting them online. And then they have that new fancy schmancy camera feature too with the webcam. You can actually like try on the frames through the webcam to see if you like how they look on you. And that was also very helpful too with the Jin's website. I was like, oh, this is nice. I can see what it looks like online. But all right, chat. That's going to be it today for the shiny Piplup resets. And now we're going to hop into some Fields of Mystery. We're going to get into some comfy farming today. Okay, comfy farming today. Let me go ahead and change it up. Let me hop over here real quick. Boop. But yeah, I hope you guys don't mind today's a bit of a shorter like Piplup reset day. I don't know. I'm really back into like farming recently with all the farming games. And so I'm excited. I did a little bit of Mystria farming offline just to get to the next big event. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for the next big event in the game. Yeah. I think it's like the Harvest Festival or something like that. But yeah, for now, I will end the stream on the YouTube side, and then it should raid into the waiting room for Fields of Mystria. And so for those watching on YouTube, specifically for the shiny Piplup hunt for today, I will see you next time. But if you're sticking around for the rest of the stream, I'll see you here in a few minutes. Okay, YouTube? But can we get some goodbyes in chat, please, for YouTube? Bye, YouTube! Bye-bye. I'll see you here in a bit, okay, for some Fields of Mystria. Bye, YouTube!